Hi everyone, I'm Katie the Crafty Blog Stalker, and in today's episode I'm going to show you how to make a pocket hug using the Cricut Maker. Now if you've never heard of a pocket hug before, it's something that you can put in your pocket or your coin purse, and every time you feel it, that means that the person who gave it to you is giving you a hug. Isn't that sweet? It's such a perfect little sentiment for our time of quarantining. I purchased all of these acrylic discs off of Amazon. I think it was a package of 50. They have a diameter of 1.5 inches, and they look blue, but they aren't blue. They have a plastic layer on each side, and when you peel those off, you get this clear acrylic coin. Now, mine measure 1.5 inches diameter, but you can find these in really tons of different sizes. Just browse Amazon for exactly what you're looking for. Here is a screenshot of my Cricut design space. As a note, you cannot do this design from a device. It has to be from a computer or a laptop because there is curved text in the design. And for whatever reason, you can't do curved text from an iOS device. I will share the link to this canvas so you can create this yourself if you would like. It will be in the description of this video or in the blog post from thecraftyblogstalker.com, wherever you're watching this video from. The first thing we're going to need to do is to cut this. We're going to cut this out of paper, and then when we go to engrave, as you can see over here, I have this one in pen right there, but we aren't going to use a pen. We are just using that to help make sure that everything is centered where we want it to be. So we're going to cut this piece out of cardstock, and then we are going to engrave this circle piece onto our acrylic disc using the engraving tip in our Cricut Maker. So I'm going to click on Make It, and this is a matte preview. Now we want to make sure that our engraving, that we put those on the 1x1 line on our mat, because that is where we're going to put our stencil. So I'm just going to zoom in on this and really make sure that that is right where I need it to be. So it is as centered as I can get it on that little coin. Okay, but we want to cut first. So we want to bring that mat up. It's going to connect to our maker. And the first thing we're going to do is cut out our stencil, which is what we're going to be putting our disc in to keep everything centered. We want to make sure that we have our fine point blade in our Cricut Maker. And now we're going to load our first mat with just some cardstock in it. And this is going to cut our stencil. Now, I'll show you more what the stencil is for in just a minute, but it really does help. So you want to make sure and cut it out. All right, so here's our stencil. I'm going to take that out. And you can see we've got that square, which our acrylic coin fits perfectly inside. Now we're going to move to our strong grit mat. And remember how I lined up that one piece on the 1 and 1? I'm going to do that again with this stencil, this cardstock stencil. And I want to line it up as perfectly as I can in that area, because then we're going to place our acrylic coin inside. And this is how we center it. Just make sure that we get our engraved design in the center of our disc. So now that our coin is right where we need it to be, we can remove our stencil, and it should just come right over the top. But we still need to secure the acrylic disc in place. So I've got some painter's tape that I'm going to use. And I'm just gonna cut this into some strips. So now we're gonna take these little pieces of painter's tape and we're gonna go around the edge as close to the edge as we can get it on that coin while still keeping it secured with the tape. Okay, so you can see we're just barely on that edge. And we're gonna go all the way around. And this is gonna help keep the disc, that acrylic disc, in place and will help it not to move when that engraving blade is pressing down on it and going around. So now we've got that disc securely in place. We don't want it to move. And now we're gonna make sure that we are on mat 1 again. And we are going to change the material to acrylic. And as you can see, it asks for a pen, but remember, we're not really using the pen. So we don't have to worry about the pen, but we do want to make sure that we have that engraved tip, number 41, installed in clamp B. So I'm going to open up clamp B, and I'm going to take out the standard blade. And here is our engraving blade. We're going to put that in there. And we're ready to load. So now we're going to do, just like we do with cardstock or anything else, we're going to load our mat and click the blinking Cricut logo. So first it's going to go around like it has the pen, but it doesn't. Again, remember that was just for centering. And then it will go and engrave our disc. And this will take probably about 5-ish minutes. All right, so it's all done engraving. It actually only took 3 minutes, not quite 5. So we're gonna take that out. And we're done with our maker, so we can set that aside. And we're gonna peel up that tape. And get our little coin off. Now it does have like some shavings on there from engraving. So wipe those away. And, oh, it's so cute. It's so cute. It's not quite perfectly centered, but still this one isn't bad. I did a couple that were really not center at all. It says a pocket hug. Put coin in your pocket, and every time you feel it, you've been hugged. Isn't that so cute? I'm so excited to give these to people. Who do I want to hug first? I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. While you're here, I would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming tutorials. And of course, you can always find me at my home base at thecraftyblogstalker.com. Thanks, everybody. Bye, and happy crafting.